Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Will. Welcome to the 20th episode of Sports with Legend TV. I'm your host, William Mo. And on today's show, I'm going to talk about Tom Seaver's recent diagnosis that he has dementia. And I'm also going to talk about how the Mets should honor him, since as a result of this disease, he has to stop making public appearances. So, I'm gonna go give my thoughts what they should do to honor him and his legacy as the greatest Met of all time. So if you like this video, feel free to like it, share it, comment on it, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you can be notified for future episodes. But with that said, let's just dive into this episode. So as it was revealed a few days ago, Tom Seaver, it was announced that he's been diagnosed with dementia, and it's heartbreaking news because if you've watched a guy perform, unfortunately I wasn't fortunate enough to see him play since I'm too young to see him perform, as a player, since he pitched from 67 to 86. So I wasn't, by the time he returned to the Mets that 1 year in 83, I was a baby, so obviously I never saw that amazing performer pitch at his office, on the mound, But it's really sad news, because this guy is very knowledgeable of the game. Obviously, he played it for 20 years, and after his playing days, he was a broadcaster with the Yankees, and of course with the Mets, over the years before he hanged it up and just focused on his wine career, GTS. So it's very sad. The guy's very outspoken, ever since his playing days, and he's always been knowledgeable about how nowadays pitchers are more concerned with velocity instead of being pitchers. So it's very sad for a guy who's very knowledgeable that he's forgetting stuff that many of us probably will ever know. So it's very tragic that the disease is affecting his memory like that. And the Mets, as a result of his playing days, highlighted by a lot of accolades. He has 311 wins, 198 of them was in a Met uniform. He has 3 Cy Youngs with the Mets. He threw a no-hitter, unfortunately, with the Reds after he got traded in '77, and arguably, the worst trade in Mets history. Alongside his former teammate Nolan Ryan, a few years prior to that in '72, and he threw his then he came back with the Mets in '83, and Mets foolishly did not protect his rights, so he got picked up by the White Sox when he got unclaimed in the draft, and as a result, he would get his 300th win as a White Sox at Yankee Stadium. A complete game performance, and of course, he went into the Hall of Fame in '92. At that time, he was the highest. He had the highest percentage of a voter. He had over 98% of the vote. Then, of course, recently Ken Griffey Jr. Passed that mark, and then of course this year Mariano Rivera became the first unanimous, vote getter. And of course, if you saw the Mariano Rivera video, I discussed who will be the next, the next unanimous vote in the Hall of Fame, and also why I mentioned why Seaver, among other players in the game, should have also had that honor, to no fault of Mariano, because obviously he's very deserving of that. But I'm getting a little off topic here. But yeah, the way how the Mets are rumored to be honoring him is that they're going to build a statue for him outside Citi Field. And I mean, come on, we all know that was long overdue. Citi Field's a beautiful stadium, but they need more Met identity. When you go inside, when you look outside, they did a few years ago add photos of legendary Met players. Obviously, Seaver is among one of them. And of course, players from the '69 team. Kuzman, and of course, '86. You have Doc Darrell, and then of course you got Piazza in the '99, 2000, obviously 2000 World Series NL champion team. But Seaver is the man who needs to be immortalized, because he's clearly the franchise, and he's Tom Terrific, and he's the number one guy who deserves that honor. He's the guy who literally brought respectability to the Met organization, because we all know ever since '62 they were the laughing stock of the league. They won 40 games and won 20 that year, and then of course from '62 to 68 they've been laughing stock of the league. And so when '69 happened, piloted by Gil Hodges, the late Gil Hodges, who Seaver and many of his teammates on that team give credit to Gil Hodges for managing that team to improbable championship. Obviously, we all know the Mets won 100 games. I mean, that was a miracle within itself. Them making the playoffs for the first time and then winning it all in the first year of the divisional series, where they swept the Braves, and then of course lost the first game of the World Series to the best team in baseball at that time, the Baltimore Orioles, stacked with Hall of Famers all over the place. Frank Robinson, Jim Palmer, Brooks Robertson. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. And nobody gave the Mets a chance to beat those guys. So they, even though one of the Orioles guys was talking smack after they beat the Mets, and basically, with Seaver on the mound game one, but the Mets they bounced back, won the the rest of the 4 games after that, 1-5. Jerry Kuzman, he pitched the complete game. Tommy Agee got that last out. Mets won their first title. So this is the 50th year, of that improbable run, even though Mets had strong pitching and of course clutch hitting, and they got the first title in Mets history. Hopefully one of many, hopefully in the future. But they're rumored to be honoring him with the statue, which is long overdue. And my suggestion would be that even though this honor is usually reserved for players who've passed away, I think this year they should right after the ceremony, they should have a patch, a 41 patch on his on their arm, on the Mets uniform, to commemorate him, and have a 69 on the other side to commemorate the 69 team. This is the 50th anniversary. They could even use the original patch from the 69, the 69 World Series team, so they should do that to honor that team. That team is the team that basically paved the way for the 86 team and every other team in between and after. So And Tom Seaver, he deserves that honor, man. Sorry, he has the dementia, and he's again a very knowledgeable guy. And I'm gonna keep him and his family in my prayers, and I know you guys listening are gonna do that too. So that's it for today. Tell me what you think Mets should do to honor Tom Seaver, and just share your thoughts. Let your voice be heard. I'm William Ramo, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.